Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we're continuing our series of brawling with the new cards from Throne of Eldraine. And what we have now is Knight's Charge. Knight's Charge is a Mardu deck built around our Brawl commander, Sir Gwen, Hero of Ashvale. Vigilance, Menace, 5/5. When an equipped creature you control attacks, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Equipment you control have equipped Knight 0. So if we want to equip to a Knight, when Sir Gwen comes down on turn 6, we can equip it for nothing, which obviously, there you go. The combos are right there in front of you. Otherwise, it's a Knight's tribal deck, and I'm just going to go over a few of the key cards, the key new cards in the deck. Follow Me Your Knight is actually an interesting looking card that might be very playable. The adventure side is Profane Insight, an instant that lets you draw a card and lose a life, and then for 1 black you play a 1/1 Death Touch. So there's some value there. 3 mana, you get a new card, and then the 1/1 Death Touch, if it trades with a creature, you got a 2-for-1. It's a toughie. It's toughie value, but it feels good to cycle it and then play it, I will say that. We have a whole bunch of new knights, which I think I can introduce as we go. They're just critters. But in particular, the Inspiring Veteran, giving all knights we control +1/+1 is a big deal in this deck. I don't know why you'd take your kid to battle, but that's all I'm going to say about that. Wouldn't take my kid to battle. Do you really want this? I don't know. Then we have a whole bunch of new equipments. All of them have interesting little abilities. Again, I don't feel compelled to talk about each one right now. We can do that in the game. But Bell of the Brawl is a very good one. 3 mana for a 3/2 Menace. When it attacks, other knights get +1/+0. So another Anthem style of effect. Knight's Charge is an interesting Anthem effect with 1 white and a black enchantment. Whenever a knight you control attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So a Sanctum Seeker on an enchantment. When you sacrifice Knight's Charge for 8 frickin' mana, return all knight creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Pretty cool as a way to get things back if you're flooding out, really flooding out. Then along the way, we have this hybrid knight with double strike and a pump ability. So, Sir Conrad the Grim is an interesting one that's in multiple decks. 3 black, 5/4, human knight. Whenever another creature dies, or a creature card is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature card leaves your graveyard, 1 damage to each opponent. So a lot of ways to trigger it. Just basically any time a creature goes into or leaves the battlefield in any way. And then there's 1 and a black. Each player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard. So a lot of text to say you'll take damage sometimes. And probably some interesting combos to build around this. Once we, get to actually build the decks. It's a pre-construct deck. What more can I tell you? Let's go hit them with some knights. There's Bant. The greatest frickin' deck is our opponent, so we need a very aggressive hand. This does have an early knight, an ancestral blade, then a Knight's Charge. The D-Spark can at least hold back the creature. It's not our strongest collection of knights, but maybe Temple of Triumph can help us find them. I don't know. You need to be pretty fortunate to run this deck over. You need to draw all the good knights, none of the bad knights. Don't feel like this hand is quite that, but I'm not willing to mulligan it. Siobhan Dragon, too expensive. I mean, there couldn't be knights in a deck without a dragon, so I get why it's in there, but when you have 6 mana with this deck, you always want to play this card. We could run you out as the 2/1, or we could run you out. Does this have artifacts? It has a Meteor Golem. Very unlikely. I think it's better to be mana efficient. And play you. Then next turn we can play the Knight and the Ancestral Blade. And then the next turn, the Knight's Charge, maybe put up some pressure. Tome of Legends. Okay. It's a very great value card, but it's slow, which is what we need right now. We need our opponent to be slow. We must smore card. We must attack with many things. We cannot stop the fighting until every last one of us is dead. Am I the only one with that line from, there are a lot of lines from Monty Python, but for some reason that's one I think of all the time is, "In the name of God, We will not stop the fighting until every last one of you is dead. I can't. It kills me. All right. Knight's charge. Da-da-da-da. The opponent wants to block with their ramp creature. That is very good for us, and they do not want to block with their ramp creature. Let's get the black and red mana down. And what's happening? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here she comes. He comes. He. Definitely a he. Oopsie daisy. And a sailor? Oh, you even get instant value? Oh, this burns in my... Oh, it makes me angry. Okay. Obviously, you're getting desparked. That's for sure. It's too bad I can't also play the Reaper this turn. Is there anywhere we'd like to move the Ancestral Blade? Like, I don't want to trade my Knight. I want my Knights to stay around because they're more valuable than the Soldier. So this is an equip cost of 1. So we're going to move you over here so that the Sailor can't pick you off. We're going to despark you, make the opponent play you again. And you know what happens. You know what it is. It's time to smash. It's clobbering time. So if this dies, which, you know, fine. +1/+1 counter at least. I have a 4/3 over here that can attack through the Tulane if the opponent decides to play Tulane again. I also don't have a great equipment for this. Man, do I wish I had the Crystal Slipper, which gives... It's an equipment that gives haste. It's like a Swiftfoot Boots, but it's a slipper. Our opponent is at 7. They do lose a life every time we attack. It's a lot of pressure. The opponent takes a draw. I like that. Feels good and desperate. The opponent did not play a land last turn when they played the Sailor, so they might be short on lands in the hand. Let's see if they drew one. Land drop's so important to this deck. And as you see, going into the tank, and I just don't feel like we did enough. I don't feel like we did enough pressure, but the opponent taking this long is making me wonder. And now with this mana up, what are the instant speeds? There's the bounce spell. There's Frilled freaking Mystic. So we don't want to play into a Frilled Mystic, not even a little. Let's turn these sideways. Blue, green, blue, green. And there is the Mystic. Can trade now with this Knight, which is unfortunate. But I think we just have to accept that happens. One thing I could have done is move the Ancestral Blade if I expected the opponent to play the Frilled Mystic there. Might have been a mistake. So I could draw a card with this, or I could play it out. I think I just want to get my creatures onto the battlefield. Because they trigger the charge, and our opponent's at 5. Who wants the Blade? Should be the Death Touch creature. They're going to want to block that anyway. Should be the Midnight Reaper. Should be the 2/2. Again, if our opponent plays this, we want a creature that can attack through it. And that's going to be our Midnight Reaper, potentially. There's the land. Our opponent drew the land. Maybe they have Meteor Golem. Probably be one of their stronger plays here as a 2-for-1 that takes down my largest threat. Biomancer's Familiar. Okay. What else do you have? Is this the part of the game where you put a bunch of dorks down on the battlefield? CoolStuffInc.com. Magic cards and supplies. Board games. Cool stuff, obviously. Promo code CGB5. 5% off your order. Thank you for sponsoring the channel. Tense moment marketing. All right. Looks like our opponent's going to roll with this little band of critters to battle us. They do have the card Run Away Together available. Now, where should I move the blade? If I move the blade here, everything trades. If this blocks here, I guess I don't care very much. But that's the thing, right? I guess I want trades. Even if the opponent trades for the Reaper, I draw a card. So I think I want this here. I don't want any good chump Like, I don't want the opponent to be able to pick off any of my cards easily. Pressure, pressure. Knock the opponent to 3. Is there just a lightning strike I can rip off the top somewhere? It's too bad we drew this tapped land, you guys. It's the Vandal. It's a 1/2. Okay, flash. It's a good draw. But the Death Touch means that they will still lose the Vandal. And the opponent not willing to go to 1. We get to draw 2 cards from the Midnight Reaper. Make them good. That's about as bad as it could get, right there. Couldn't get much worse. However, eventually, maybe we bring these back. We got 4 knights down there. Meteor Golem. Never mind. Signet. Let's play you and play our commander, because that's the play. But attacking here doesn't do anything, so we'll pass turn. This is a soldier, not a knight. We can't draw a card with our commander by attacking with it. Man, what a turn too late. What a turn too late you are. I should have put this over here. That was a mistake. That was such a mistake. I didn't even think about that. I'm an idiot. An idiot, you guys. Oh. Never freaking punished. Yes! So lucky. So lucky. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. So I think I gotta keep this because I have 2 really good knights. And it's a deck full of pretty awkward knights. So yeah. We gotta roll with it. Absolutely. Even if it's a little slow and clunky. What are we up against? Jund. We're up against the Curse King. Gorvald. And leading on the Evolving Wilds. Not giving me that information. Look at that. Look at that genius. Alright. So now I've got the 3 mana. I may as well use this turn to play the Lance, which requires black. But now I have this on the battlefield. We got to use our mana this turn. Next turn we're obviously going to play one of our knights. Searching the library, picking a land. If I had only known that they were fetching a forest, maybe I would have done something differently. Just kidding. I pick on it just because that comment I received the other day tilted me. Huh, this is interesting. I could play the Knight of the Abbot and Legion, equip it, and play the tap land, and the next turn have something else to do. Smash. Just smash. Card is good pressure. Good pressure. We have a 5/4 first strike attacker for a while. What's the opponent going to do about that? Nothing. That's what they're going to do. They're going to cry to their mom. Oh, whew. Rhythm of the Wild. Gross. Well, this part's easy. So, we can equip up or we can play a Midnight Reaper and smash for 3. The opponent's likely going to play something big and terrifying, so maybe having a Knight of the Ebon Legion with Death Touch is a better play. Just having this available. Then does it make sense to also play the Mask or just to smash for 5? Yeah, I think we'll go here. The Mask isn't great by any stretch of the imagination, so let's just equip up here. Oh wait, you're a soldier. Never mind. My bad, I thought you were a knight. Why aren't you a knight? What are you doing in this deck? Learning moments. Tajik ain't into you. Alright, getting there. Knight stack with one knight on the battlefield and a knight's charge. Disgusting. A disgrace to the Knights of the Round Table. Okay, Krenko is here. With Riot, I might add. Can be a hasty boy. Make some 1/1s. Sure. No blocks. I gotta kill that thing though. I don't know how. Didn't draw any removal this game. Makes it rough. And I do mean rough. But do we smash in? How do we do it? Keep the pressure on. Let's see, we can equip here. Attack like that. Play Midnight Reaper after combat, I think. But these 1/1s are going to be a pain in the butt. Chumps. Chumps McGee's. Chumps for days. Makes sense. Still gotta deal with this Krenko. It's going to make more and more 1/1s every turn. So attacking isn't going to be good for long. Sure. Alright, here's our Reaper. Here's a land. Gonna just hand out that info that we're going to get a Plains. Just give up the whole game plan right there. Now, if the opponent doesn't pump the Krenko, Reaper can block and then we can sack to deal an extra point to finish it off, but they will still leave behind 3 little tokens. Plus, our opponent gets the dragon. This is going to get really ugly. I need to draw removal badly. Ooh, why would you play this first? Now you have to sacrifice something. Maybe the opponent has decided not to attack with a Krenko, but you don't want to be sacrificing a land as that deck. I wonder if you're going to take haste. Just going to go haste and try to smash me in the air? Yep. Yep. Oh boy. Yeah, should have made it. That's why. Wanted to haste me to death. Reaper blocks, knocks Krenko to 1 toughness. Now the elemental is going to finish the job. All right, let's go, Knight. So we got some equip costs of 0, but to equip a Knight. So we can't equip the Tajik with the Lance, unfortunately. But you can go here. So if Tajik goes in, Tajik will die. Not good. So just you, I suppose. Oh yay, land. Lucky boy. Alright. Let's equip over here. And let's equip over here too, because if our opponent has a removal spell, they're definitely going to kill Sir Gwen. So we may as well be able to sacrifice Sir Gwen to deal an extra point if the opponent points something nasty at him. This gains a life. We might need that life. Our opponent is limited on the land. Let's see what happens here. Leyline Prowler? That's obnoxious. But Menace, there might be something to be said for using the mask to kill the tokens. Oh, you're going to haste. Oh, you're aggressive. Okay. Really aggressive. Really aggressive. All right. Don't think I block this. Down to 7. This can put me up to 9. This attacks for 8 next turn. This is going to be close. Jeez, so Pete's lands. Okay. If I sacrifice Tajik and kill this token, the opponent can no longer block. Then we can pump twice, which is 1, 2, 7. Gotta think it through. 7 plus 7, 14, 15, 16. It's not enough. Not enough. I'm thinking. Give me a minute. Jeez. Okay. Gotta play you. Don't. 7. I might still need a blocker, though. That's the big problem right here. Plus, I lose a life when I attack to draw cards. It's rough. It's very rough. If I keep you back, you can trade with pretty much anything, but this has first strike. All right. Lose a life, draw a card. I'm at 7. This is going to 8. It's not good. I guess I have to try to draw a removal spell, right? Yeah. We've got to try to draw a removal spell for this, so there's no sense in holding back anymore. Not good enough. Because I think that not attacking there is just no chance, right? It's going to come down to 1 life. And if I'd only just waited till my end step to sacrifice that Evolving Wilds, right? Ah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That flood at the end is what did us in. 3 lands in a row, off the top, at the wrong time. All right. I mean, you've got it. What are we doing here? Let's be on our way. Well, we've got our colors. It's slow, but I think I try it anyway. Turn 2 Vanguard can go a little crazy in this format, as your opponents don't always have ways to deal. Can usually get a couple soldiers out there before the opponent can do anything. We're up against the Esper deck, which has a lot of dirtily artifacts in the early game. Tournament grounds, so we can go straight to a Midnight Reaper here. See what happens if we attack. Well, let's play the Reaper first. Doesn't work with tokens, but maybe the opponent somehow ambushes this. I don't think there's anything in the deck to do that, but I also haven't memorized the lists. It's a bunch of singleton cards and a bunch of new cards, which I don't always have exactly in my head what those are going to do at a given time. So let's make our manas. Other mana maker. Integrity Intervention available, but yeah, we are attacking quickly and viciously. If our opponent turn 4 plays this, we have the Intervention. Okay, our opponent on a much slower hand than us. I think we're just gonna up in Knight's Charge. Our opponent does play Kaya's Wrath, just so you know. Bad things could happen. So I think with Kaya's Wrath in mind, and not Time Wipe, but there is another sweeper, Massacre Girl. Ooh, I think we're set up to really mess up a Massacre Girl. No, we have too many 1/1s, so I'm not going to play this out. Too much value. Can adventure it for a card and then play it as a 1/1. There's the Massacre Girl. Yep, clever girl. I use that line a lot, you might have learned. If I only had a single 1/1, Integrity would have buffed it and it would have blown out the Massacre Girl, wouldn't have killed anything, would have been awesome, but that's not the way it worked. Bond of Discipline, tap all creatures your opponents control. Your creatures gain lifelink. So it's our sleep if you ever played the Merfolk deck. Saddle up, homie. Do you think the opponent will remove you? I think they will. Is it still the best play for this turn? Yeah. Plus, if the opponent removes this and then attacks with Massacre Girl, we get to untap and send in the Taj. Send in the Taj. Get that sweet, sweet damage. And we'll see. I mean, this does ask a question. Like, what can you do? And if the opponent says, I make a board with my Fairy Lord and a bunch of stuff. Alright. Command. Alright, the well's coming down, which is interesting. I guess the opponent only has a single blue. One top, one bottom. So they can't play this and the well without another blue, so that makes sense. 8 mana. Do we do it again? Our opponent did keep on top after all. I need to find just a little bit more damage, you guys. Alright, what I'm going to do is go on the adventure. Nice. Play you out. Play you. Smash for 3. This card, so when you adventure this card, it does X you gain X life, and each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of knights you control. So I'm going to try to get another knight or 2. But it's really close, right? If this attacks, oh my gosh, we're so close. This is 4. If this even attacks, it triggers the knight. It's 3. We're living on the edge. This is a sorcery too, by the way. You have to pay attention to the card types in Adventure. Some are instants, some are sorceries. This is an instant, this is a sorcery. Here she is. I think our opponent's going to plan to make critters and block now. Which, that gets blown up by the Bond of Discipline. Oh, we're passing turn. Just an instant, it's a sorcery. Does 1. This even attacks, that's another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not enough mana left over, though, to cast the intervention. This is interesting. Our opponent could have a Mortify here, but if they do, I can cycle this, attack with this. Yeah. So let's put stops in combat for sure, or put up full control mode. Cycle you. Or not cycle, but adventure you. Down to 4. And the opponent will scoop it. I guess they knew about the intervention. It is one of the only cards that holds priority with 1 mana open, so they knew I had it. The hand is slow and not particularly great. And lacks red. On the play, though, we got a critter. Say we top deck it perfectly. It could be a really nice curve if we top deck perfectly, but I don't expect to. We'll try it, though. We're up against Jund. You can go pretty fast against Jund. Just spark off the top. Awkward. Alright, the next draw step will be a big one. Marauder's Axe, one of the clunkier equipments. Not very good. Okay, Whitmore Commander. Let's send the knight. Well, without green mana yet, and they didn't ramp, which is a big deal for that deck. That deck really wants to ramp on 2. And they can't stop touching their damn cat. Jesus. I get enough of this kind of crap around the house, you know. I got a cat who's just whining all the time. It's the worst. Which is Oven. Okay, and still no green. So we kept bad hand, opponent kept bad hand. Save that for after combat. Indestructible, like Gideon. Order of the Midnight. Now we got a flyer. We're stuck on 2 lands, but we've got creatures. Mask of Immolation. That can take out the Venerable Knight, and it's a good little blocker to buy some time. Our opponent is literally going to click their cat the entirety of this game. Like, just shoot me now. All right. If we're allowed to enter the attack step, we can give this indestructible, though, which kind of blows up the opponent's plan of block, sack, kill, which, I don't know, maybe they had a different plan. You think they're trying to use the animation to crash my client? Should I report them? What would you do? So, I don't want to play the axe this turn. I think my opponent's going to draw green and make a dragon or something large. I think I'm better off holding up the spark. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold the spark up. Blade Crafter? Sure. Put the counter on the flyer? Yeah. I mean, you could use this witch's oven right now if you really want to. Just get your hand off your dang cat. So obnoxious. Like, obviously the behavior is to tilt me. So I have options. I can do this. And now I don't hear your cat. But I miss my sound effects. I like playing the game. I like playing the game as intended. I like having sweet sound effects. And you hear, like, just the sounds. Sounds naked now. Makes me sad. Makes me sad that you drove me to these lengths, you piece of trash. Alright, no. Okay, that's enough aggro. That's enough rage. So I think I saved the knight. I don't really want to trade it with a Plague Crafter, do I? It gives another creature indestructible. Ugh. I mean, maybe I do trade you with a Plague Crafter. How bad could that be? By having knights on the battlefield, yeah. The opponent would definitely block, like 1,000,000%. This is a tough trade to take. I don't think I do, because this card can be a lot better. The toughness goes up for every knight that I play. So once I have a few more knights on the battlefield, I don't have to accept that trade, and I can give something else indestructible. So yeah, I think you're more valuable. How does he play a card and still keep petting the cat? Like, you see that? The land enters the battlefield. You had to touch a card in your hand. You have to pick something to sacrifice. How are you still petting the cat? How is this possible? You have two hands on a touch screen? Touch screens don't usually work that way. This is madness. This is Sparta. All right, get out. I'm just gonna kill you. I'm just gonna kill you, send you crying home to your real cat, and be done with this. Be absolutely done with this. It's still on your cat. How? Do you think it's locked that way? Do you think it's a glitch? Because obviously you have to do something sometimes, and yet the cat is still going. All right, we play this before combat to pump the commander. We swing. Hit them really freaking hard. This has menace, so we don't need to worry about it. Plague Crafter has to block. Nah, opponent's dead. The cat's still over here. Cat's still getting love. How? What the hell, man? It must be a bug. That must be a bug. Post in comments. Is that a bug? That must be a bug. Humans don't have the ability to pet a cat for that long. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video with the Mardu Brawl deck. I think it's the second best deck, and it's definitely the most aggressive of the four. So if you are a beatdown player, you need to be on that knight train, and make sure that you keep hands with a nice aggressive curve as well. The removal spells are decent too. So with that said, thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video where we have 2 more Brawl decks to go. So see you then. Goodbye.